everyone, it's Kernow Weather Team here with the latest update of the weekend. There's myself, Dave, and the lovely Hannah's joined us today. We're a little bit concerned about this weekend's weather. The Met Office have now got another named storm, which I can't quite pronounce. We're going to see some strong winds, some very strong winds, in fact, gales for this weekend. With people with Christmas decorations out, light switches on, markets, and people heading out to do Christmas shopping, we're personally quite concerned about this. So we're bringing you a bit of an urgent update to bring you all the weather charts. Dave, your turn?
It's got a strange name, this one. I've trying to pronounce it for the last hour, and I think I'm still getting it wrong. I think it's called Storm Darragh. I think it's got a long name, but the pronunciation is like Darrar. I think it's like Darragh. Well, you'll see it on our page anyway.
Darragh, isn't it? Darragh.
Yeah, Darragh.
Pronunciation.
Yeah, it's a strange name trying to pronounce. So yeah, we do have an amber weather warning in effect for Saturday. We do have a yellow weather warning for rain and wind in effect from tomorrow right through to Sunday. It's going to be quite strong. As Penny said, we could see gales right up to storm force 10. So it is going to be quite windy. The main concern is that we could see damage to properties, trees down, a few roof tiles and fences blown down. Coastal areas are going to see some really large waves. We'll show you that a bit later. You can see between 16 and 22 foot on the north coast of Cornwall. South coast is a bit more sheltered. And over to Hannah.
Yeah, so we've got this nasty storm coming in, and it's going to be bringing between 16 and 20 foot waves on the north coast of Cornwall and Devon, and some parts of Wales too. And that means because it'll be an onshore wind, the waves there will be blown out. They are going to be strong. The waves will be big, but I wouldn't suggest surfing them. You might be better off on the south coast this weekend, as they'll be having offshore winds, and the wave heights over there are for about 8 foot, if I remember rightly. So yeah, you might be better over there and a bit more sheltered. Don't forget, with this wind, you've got Christmas lights out, haven't you? Have you got Christmas lights out, you two?
No.
Good. Why not?
I was actually going to have my Christmas lights around the outside of my porch, but
you saw the weather. You saw the
weather.
Decided no, it's no good.
So
this weekend.
No.
Yes. So first of all, we do the weather so we can tell if it's got to be windy or not. Number two, we haven't actually gone up the loft and got the stuff out of the eaves yet. And number three, it's been really busy and hectic for me and Hannah because we've had our granddaughter over, and because she's, I got this right, 8 months old now, 7 to 8, isn't she? 8 months old. She can be quite a handful and quite demanding, and she doesn't sleep much. So Sophie, if you're watching this, she does not sleep much. She'll sleep for about 30 minutes and that is it. So you can't get anything done, but she's cute though.
Yeah, very cute. Oh well.
So with the decorations, if you are planning on putting them out this weekend, I would hold off until either later
Monday.
At least Monday, later in the week, or if it's a weekend job for you, it'll be better off next weekend, maybe.
I think a lot of parades and Christmas light switches on. I think they're going to be cancelled. I mean, even this, like Truro even got a Christmas market, and wind speeds in Truro, it's not good. I mean, whether any markets are going to be cancelled or anything, I don't know. But you know, looking at the amber warning that's in place now, I'm hoping these people will take note and make their own decisions what to do.
Penny, could we have a look at those charts, please?
Yeah. Which one would you like to look at?
Well, you're talking wind speeds. That might be a good place to start.
Let's have a look at what we've got here. Let me share this a moment.
So Penny should have rain and 850 charts, which is your temperatures.
Yeah, I've got the 850 charts here for the minute.
It's showing how cold it's going to be with this. It's quite nippy.
Quite nippy. This low pressure pushes in, right, so it's showing, hang on, bear with me a second, this area low pressure, which here, the storm, here's the name storm. Now, as this pushes in, it's pulling in cold air. So, I mean, even from the early hours of Saturday morning, those temperatures are going to plummet. And during Saturday, you're looking at 7-8 degrees, even lower, North Cornwall, Mid Cornwall, East Cornwall, anywhere further up. Those temperatures are going to probably drop to like 2 degrees, even possibly lower.
It does look like that on here. It does look like it's down at 0, and if you, it's getting even colder.
That's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then this is like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Could be some minuses going on there.
I think so. But you're going to have a wind chill as well. I mean, with the strength of those winds, you're probably looking at 0, even lower possibly.
Yeah, I think so.
With this system, on the back edge of it, some places are going to see snow. Now, we did have a few weather models show a little bit of precipitation turning wintry yesterday. So there is a possibility. It may not necessarily be snow, but there might be a wintry mix of hail, sleet, all in with it. You know, more so probably during the later stages of Saturday, once that cold air really digs in. That cold air actually stays with us now for the next few days, to be honest with you, and then we start getting a bit of an easterly flow then, don't we?
So that's you're now through to Monday.
Through to Monday, yeah. So the cold is going to stay with us, but we're not going to really look further ahead at the moment because our main concern is this weekend.
Yeah,
and that low system and that name storm.
Yeah. Dave, you've got different weather models there.
Yeah.
That show the actual winds. Let me stop sharing this and let me go on to yours because yours are quite intense.
Yeah, mine are slightly different. All right. So this is your GFS run, and these are your winds. So rest of today, it does get windy. There is a Met Office yellow weather warning in place for today for winds. I'll show you on the zoomed in version. There is some strong wind shown. It's going up the north coast today as the next tiny little low comes in. So it's all got to be blustery even today. But then we get a tiny little lull in the weather. As you can see, the winds do drop down tomorrow sort of morning. This is a normal, typical storm. They do this all the time. You do get a break in it where the winds will drop for quite a while, and we get quite a lot. Oh, this is the storm here, is it not? It's just how the weather works. We're in between two systems. We've got one what's going to be over Europe, and then we've got one what's coming in from the southwest. But as you can see, I will do a zoomed in version of this. As Friday goes on, the winds are going to pick up, and by Friday sort of evening they're going to be really strong. They're going to be sort of 40s, 50s, but the main concern is this white patch. As you can see, what starts to move over Saturday, and that is when your strongest of the winds are going to be, and that's when we're going to start seeing 70s, 80s, 90s. I dare to say it, I've got a feeling a few places around Cornwall might even see the magic hundreds again. We've seen this quite a lot, especially around the north coast or exposed areas or higher grounds, might even see that. These are damaging gusts, but it still stays quite windy. And again, Saturday night, they pick up again. Then they do ease as Sunday goes on. They're still in like the 40s and 50s all through Sunday, but it's not too bad then. They do ease, then Monday they start to drop off. So, and as we head into next week, you can see it's just a normal Cornish breeze. It just stays like blustery and not too bad. Then next weekend, well, I'm not even going that far, but the main concern is the strength of these winds. I will do a zoomed in version so you can see it a little bit better. So this is today. Like I said, there is a Met Office yellow weather warning in place for today for these winds. As you can see, they're quite strong on the north coast, but that does dissipate and move to the east. But then you will see that's that little break in the weather. So like I said, you've got one weather system over Europe, and we've got another one that's coming up from the southwest. It does travel up, comes up over Ireland, then through the middle of the UK, then it goes back into France. As you'll see, as Friday goes on, then winds are slowly and gradually going to pick up. And Friday night, we're looking at 70, 80 mile an hour easy. But this is the main concern, is Saturday early hours when these whites start showing. So these start indicating your 80s and 90s. As you can see, it does move up into Wales a bit, the strength of the winds.
Yeah, it's those white patches, isn't it, though, again?
Yeah. Please remember, these charts will change again. Yeah. So come tomorrow night, these charts may be totally different, and I've got a feeling they're going to be a lot worse than what we're seeing now.
I mean, that system could, within the next few model runs, that system could shift slightly north, or shift even slightly further south.
Yeah.
So if it shifts further north, then we'll get away with the strongest of the winds. But as it is at the moment, or as it drops slightly lower, that's where, we could see even further strong winds with it. It depends, because there's another couple of model runs yet beforehand, and these weather systems do have a habit of changing at the last minute.
Yeah, these are your Met Office weather warnings. So it is going to be windy today everywhere in Cornwall, but this is the main impact zones. It's more sort of northwest of Cornwall. Then Friday, as you can see, we're covered by a yellow one for wind and rain for Saturday, Friday and Saturday. And Saturday, there's your amber weather warning zone. So it does cover the Isles of Scilly. And it covers the whole of Cornwall. You can see a lot of Devon into Somerset, then Wales, and it goes right up then to like North England, into Scotland, Northern Ireland have all got an amber weather warning. So it is quite an impact. Yeah. And it is going to be quite strong. Yeah. This is.
Can I just ask, is there somewhere where our followers can see these charts?
Yeah, a lot of the charts are available on oceanicwave.com. You can click down every coastline and you will start to see all the wave hypes and bits and pieces on there. I am working hard on oceanicwave.com, and you will start to see all these charts will be available on Oceanic Wave very soon. I am working hard, and it has come from buyers of copies and all the donations we've got. So a lot of these charts will be free to use. There will be some packages what we're putting together, but a bit more on that soon. These are your sea surface air temperature. So basically where the storm is.
So you mean not temperatures?
No, air pressures. Yeah, sorry. Right. So this is where your storm will come across, and as you can see, the air pressure is not that low over Cornwall. It's just how tight these isobars really are.
That could move further south, couldn't it? And it could move further north, which would cause a different outcome for us.
Yeah, and also you got to remember it's going to sound different because we're used to southwest or southeast or westerly winds. This is northwesterly winds, so it's going to whistle, it's going to howl. It's going to sound quite nasty as well, and you can see.
But it is still going to be nasty.
Yeah, as you can see, even when it's over Amsterdam and in Holland, them isobars, even though they start to fill out, they're still quite tight. And this is like Saturday afternoon, and this is when the winds are going to pick up. So you see that black line going down. That's indicating the air pressure is going up, but it's when we're likely to see the biggest impact of the winds. I think Saturday afternoon's got to be the strongest of the winds. So it just gives you an idea. Them isobars are still tight. We like to see isobars what are right over to the left on my screen when they're quite filled out. It means you've got high pressure. There's hardly any wind about. So that's quite handy. And these are the quite interesting ones as well. Waves. These are your wave heights, as you can see, all on the north coast. I'm just going around there, 16 to 20 foot all the way up for Saturday. South coast is a bit less, but it's still size of waves. And if you're heading to
South coast will be more surfable, won't it?
Yeah, if you're in France and you're brave enough, it's like 26 to 30 foot waves over there. But yeah, I can zoom in. These are widely available. All these sea charts we've got on there. I will put a link below, so you can see them all and other information around the coast. But these are all widely available on there, and you can get all the details of different surf locations, the seas, and all sorts. As you see, Sunday they do calm down a little bit, but even to next week they do come a lot better. But Still big waves, but it's more Saturday what's concerning when you see big waves like this. So if you are heading wave watching, just really, really careful. Just give you another rundown of this one. This is a bit different. This is showing you the rain. So we do have some rain tomorrow, but it's not as bad as we first thought. It's tomorrow evening. There could be some really, really heavy rain. And this is when you can see the low, which is 982 as it heads over Ireland, 981. And then you can see 977 as it crosses the middle of the UK. Then it goes out to Holland, then back into France. But it's how tight them isobars are. They're really, really tight.
Can I ask a question for the followers, maybe?
Yeah.
How, when you talk about a low pressure system, what makes the isobars be tight? What makes the actual low pressure? So what number of low pressure makes the isobars that tight?
Right. So if you can imagine at sea level, everything's done at sea level. So the higher you get, the lower the air pressure will get. That's why when aeroplanes are up high, they get low. And when you think about it, we look at 850 charts, that's because the air pressure is starting to get into the 850s a mile up. So that gives you an idea. So at sea level, it's all done at 1013. Anything under 1,000 millibars is now starting to class as a low pressure. So when it's a high pressure, it's nice and wide and there's hardly any wind in it. And that's why we can get stuck with anticyclonic gloom because there's no wind and it's sort of trapped. So you can imagine the tighter and tighter and tighter that gets in the middle. So the closer them isobars get, the stronger the winds will get. And that will be feeding off of a high pressure. So that high pressure I was showing to the west of us, that's trying to fill out the low pressure to get rid of it, disperse it. So as that's pulling in the wind, the stronger the wind will get. So the tighter that get is pulling more wind from that high until that low gets bigger. But I will do a video how low pressures all work and high pressures work. So it does help out. But the tighter if you see a pressure chart and you see them really, really tightly together and the isobars tight, it means basically strong winds, unsettled weather. High pressure normally brings you more settled and calm weather.
But also cyclonic gloom.
Yes, but if you think, I think it was Hurricane Helene, one of them, it dropped down to 8.7 something. That was so low. It's in the 8s. I've not seen a hurricane drop that low for a long time.
What was the lowest we've seen since Kernow Weather Team's been running for 8 years?
I think it was about 948. That's when it went, everything went off the clock and off the scale. I think that was the lowest we've seen.
And was that when we saw the highest wind speeds for us down here as well?
No, it actually isn't. That low was Storm Kiran, if I remember, which affected more France and other parts of the UK, where France was registered 130, 140 mile an hour winds. Our damaging storm was we had the ex-Hurricane Lorenzo come over. Then we had a secondary low come off that. So we had another low pressure with that. And that's when we had 113 mile an hour winds. The problem we've got with this storm, the charts are still wobbly, so they're not 100%, but they're now starting to all show the same path. Apart from the ECMWF is showing it a bit lower, but everyone else is showing it on the same path, which is good news. So it's now starting to agree. But if we start to get like secondary lows appearing off of this one, that's when you can get your big trouble. So you get your main low, which is your storm. Then you can get a secondary low, which can be it can have more of an impact than the big low.
Right. Okay.
That one after Storm Lorenzo was like the storm with no name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just come in, and I've never seen anything like it. The winds wasn't strong long, but it was long enough to bring us 130 mile an hour gusts, and it was quite widely spread right from Gwinnett Head registered it. We registered it. Staple Point registered it. Steeple Point, I think it's called.
Yes,
and we all registered all like 112 to 115 mile an hour on gusts. Yeah, and that really put us on the map quite big, and all the other storms and everything else.
And that's the time it broke our weather station, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm talking about that. I've got to get.
followers suggested to do a crowdfunder to try and replace it.
Yeah,
that was amazing. We did. We managed it.
Dave, you have the weather station up Saturday.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a bit of that lull in the weather tomorrow, so I can send my son up the ladder at the side of the house to unbolt it, to drop it down, to give it a quick clean, quick service. Then he can stick it back up again for me.
Yeah,
just clean it out.
I think a lot of our followers are going to want to see the weather station up because they know that.
It is where we are in a lug, and we seem to catch the winds here quite a lot.
Yeah, we do.
And we're quite, so you think the weather station is up top of the house at the bed now, and we catch, for some reason we just catch the winds here, and we get them so strong, and having big windows as well makes the windows bow, and Hannah herself doesn't like westerly or northwesterly winds. It's the whistles.
I don't like the wind, the noise of the wind. Bring back summer.
The northwesterly winds usually rattle my solar panels to really mad. So it's not going to be very good. It's not going to be very good anywhere, to be perfectly honest with you. People need to really listen to the warnings, take note.
Yeah.
And when it comes to traveling as well, I think if you have to travel, then travel. But if you can cancel your journey, you're going to have crosswinds, you're going to have sudden gusts of winds, and also I know we've got the rainfall with it as well. I think, to be honest with you, I think I'm more concerned about the wind than the rain in this particular occasion.
Yeah, I mean, being this close to Christmas as well, people are wanting to go out and visit families and do their little Santa drops, and so it is worth taking this advice. I mean, I've got to go up to Exeter next Saturday, and I'm quite concerned at the moment as to, I'm a bit iffy with driving longer distances, so I just worry about it, and I hope the weather's going to be fine for that weekend, but we can't tell just yet. We're looking at this weekend. If you have to travel, either try and avoid it, or be safe.
And don't risk it by walking on the cliff tops either, especially in these strong winds. It's really not worth it.
And
I've seen it, but dogs on leads. If you really have to, keep them on the leads. I've witnessed it myself. I have been on Lighthouse Hill, so it wasn't even that high. The ground was muddy, and I was sitting up there in the storm, and this big gust of wind come, and it actually slid my car sideways on the mud, and I thought to myself, nope, that's time for me to leave when it's pushing your car sideways. I know that the ground was wet and it was muddy, but it actually started blowing the car sideways, and I thought, nope, that's time for me to get out of here.
And that's why they've shut the car park, Dave. You left too many skid marks up there.
That was the wind, not my car.
You were worried, weren't you?
I was worried,
and you left skid marks, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Okay, we'll move on from that. Is there anything else you guys have got to tell us?
No, I think I'm okay. I think we've cleared most of it. Like I said, the amber weather warning is effective for Saturday. We've got a named storm, nothing unusual with that. Just another deep area of low. It's going to be extremely windy. If you've got Christmas stuff out, either strap it down or try and get it in. If you've got inflatables, try to get them in. If not,
it's not worth it.
No.
Don't get ripped. Oh no, we've got a visitor.
Yeah, they're back again.
Can I just also add that Kernow Weather Team have been running for nearly 8 years. Come on, this February, it'll be 8 years. And we aren't funded. Dave's actually disabled, and Penny's son is actually disabled. I'm a carer. So we aren't employed by anybody. We are all self-funding. So if you can find some few pennies from anywhere, we would be so grateful if you could either donate to our crowdfunder or our Buy Me a Coffee campaign to help us purchase next year's data for us to be able to provide you with the accurate forecast that these guys do.
The links will be below somewhere in the
links,
description.
Links below.
Yeah, links below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll keep you updated on all our socials, normal stuff. And yeah, we will just keep you updated over them. I think it's going to be a hard.
Your surfer friends too.
Yes, I think it's going to be a long couple of days. So take care, everyone, and we will speak to you very soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.